ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। Let us chant from 8th mantra. Eighth mantra. मय्येव मन आधत्स्व
मय्येव मन आदस्व
मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय
मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय
निवसिष्यसि मय्येव
निवसिष्यसि मय्येव
अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः।
अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः।
अथ चित्तं समाधातुम्
अथ चित्तं समादातुं
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम्।
न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम्।
अभ्यासयोगेन ततः
अभ्यासयोगेन ततः
मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय।
मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय।
अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि
अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि
मत्कर्म परमो भव।
मत्कर्म परमो भव।
मदर्थमपि कर्माणि
मदर्थमपि कर्माणि
कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि।
कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि।
अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि
अतैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः।
कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः।
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागम्
सर्वकर्मफलत्यागम्
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्।
ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्।
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात्
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात्
ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते।
ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते।
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्।
त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्।
Once again, Shreyo hi jnanamabhyasat.
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात्
Jnanadhyanam vishishyate.
ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते
Dhyanat karma phalatyagah.
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
Tyagat shantiranantaram.
त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्.
So with the previous shloka, namely number 11, with that shloka, the various stages of sadhana, okay? Stages of sadhana, look at that. Not various sadhanas. If you say various sadhanas, what will happen? Then everything is optional. You can go this way, or you can go that way, or you can go that way, depending on what you want. If you want a scenic route, you go this way. If you want a faster route, you go that way. Okay? Like that you can say. Or if you can deal with all lefts and rights and so many things, you can go this way. So this is not like that. That is why we say various stages. And Krishna was making it. So he was giving it in an orderly fashion. Okay, we saw that. And that concludes with the 11th shloka. Okay. And we saw those 5 stages, right? He started from 5 and came all the way to 1. So stage number 1 would be what? Karma phala tyaga, which is sakama pradhana karma yoga. Next, nishkama karma pradhana karma yoga. Then ekarupa bhakti pradhana upasana yoga. Then vishwarupa bhakti pradhana upasana yoga. Finally, jnana yoga, which involves shravanam mananam, nididhyasa. This constitutes karma bhakti yoga. Very interesting, right? So unless we study the Bhagavad Gita, we don't quite. These words won't. We will pick up meanings from whatever we heard, wherever we study, whichever book we may have read. So this is a different perspective that has been given. And he had indicated this. Bhagavan had indicated this long ago. Chaturvidha bhajante mam. Janas sukritino Arjuna. Artho jignyasurarthati jnani cha bharatarship. So jnani is a bhakta. Jnani is a bhakta. There itself is indicated. So there is no question of any separate path that Bhagavan has said anywhere. And even that lokesmin vividha nishta pura prokta mayanaga, right? Jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. 3rd chapter. It's the 3rd shloka. So there also we know that now, having studied the Bhagavad Gita, it is not 2 paths he's suggesting. It is like a person asking a question, should I go to school or should I go to college? Okay. So that person thinks there are 2 different systems. Should I go into this system or that system? Right? So that person has to be told, has to be found out, okay, what are you doing? Etc. Then you say, okay, I think you the right thing for you is to go to school. And because if he had gone to school, he would not have asked the question. And so, like that, we have understood. And how come Jnana Yoga is what you're emphasizing so much? Well, that is because of the diagnosis. A doctor always does a diagnosis first before recommending treatment plans. And what is the diagnosis of the problem? That is the first most important step in our so-called spirituality. And once the problem is diagnosed as a problem of mistaken identity, okay, Not a problem of being in the wrong place. Oh, I'm born on earth. I wish I were born in some other loka, Vaikunta. So now I have to go from here to Vaikunta. That becomes the solution for a problem if diagnosed differently. But our diagnosis is what? Diagnosis is that I have taken myself to be somebody other than who I am. That's the idea. That's the idea. So if I don't know Atma really speaking. The only thing I know is what I see. And what I see is the body. And so the body, I am the body. I'm as good as the body. That is how the whole world moves. And so Advaita is like that. Therefore, this multiple path idea should slowly go away from us. And so here in this 12th mantra, he is supposed to be summarizing. And see, look at what he says. Shreyaha hi jnanam abhyasat. Okay? Abhyasat jnanam shreya. Compared to abhyasa, jnanam is shreya, greater, superior. Okay. So abhyasa is given, jnanam is given. Then what else? Jnanat dhyanam vishishyate. Then compared to jnanam, then dhyanam is better. Okay. Then what? Dhyanat, compared to dhyanam, karma phala tyagaha. Or karma phala tyaga is best. Okay. Abhyasaha, jnanam, dhyanam, and karma phala tyaga. This is a weird order. How many of you think it's a weird order? Because in the last list, he started with jnanam as the superior, and then came all the way down to karma phala tyaga. Here he is saying karma phala tyaga is the most superior. Swamiji says Krishna is playing mischief with words. Mischief, that's the word he uses. Swamiji uses. Playing mischief. And he says, thankfully, we have Shankara to our rescue. I don't know how. I'm very curious how people teach Bhagavad Gita. I'm very curious because where do they study all this? And of course, there are many acharyas, no doubt, that we can learn from. But how do they deal with all these things? For us, these are all very serious problems. We can't. And so we go into Shankaracharya, then what does Anandagiri say? All that we get into a lot of detail. But anyway, I won't bore you with all that detail. So therefore, what is the new list? Abhyasa, Jnanam, Dhyanam, and Karma Phalatyaga. 4 only he gives. He gave 5 earlier, now he only gives 4. And then he just jumbles up the words. Completely jumbles up. Okay. So first one is Abhyasa. So Abhyasa here, Shankaracharya says, it is Ishvara Chintanam, Dhyanam. If you want to really remember all this, you have to write it down. Otherwise, it was very difficult to remember all this. Okay. Abhyasa means what? Dhyanam, you can say. Dhyanam. Ishvara Chintanam. Ishvara Chintanam done mechanically. Dhyanam done without knowledge. I don't know anything about Bhagavan Ishvara. I believe, maybe my belief also is somewhat shaky. And so, there is a mechanical meditation, dhyanam done. Okay, that is what Bhagavan is referring to by the word abhyasa, according to Shankaracharya. Okay, so abhyasa is what? Is a meditation done without study, without knowledge. Okay, next. Abhyasat jnanam shreya. Jnanam is greater than abhyasa, superior. And so what is this jnanam? Jnanam is Knowledge without meditation. Knowledge, but without dhyanam. Jnanam without dhyanam is called jnanam. I hope you're all with me. It's not that confusing. You just have to map it properly. That's all. Okay. Then what? Then he says what? Jnanat dhyanam vishishyate. Jnanat dhyanam vishishyate. That jnanam, which is referring to knowledge without meditation, now dhyanam is superior to that. Dhyanam is superior to jnanam, he says. It's a very, very odd shloka. Nowhere Krishna does this kind of talk. Only here he's doing it. Okay, I hope you're following this. Okay, jnanat dhyanam vishishya. So here dhyanam, Shankaracharya says, jnana sahita dhyanam. Jnana sahita dhyanam is dhyanam with knowledge. Now backed by the knowledge of Ishvara, backed by Shravanam, backed by Shastra Jnanam. Okay, so Shastram has so much to say. And now my dhyanam is going to be very, very, very different from the dhyanam which he called as Adhyaya, which was done in the first step, which was just dhyanam, well-intentioned dhyanam, but dhyanam that lacks that insight that I now have, correct? And so that is called dhyanam, which he mentioned in the second quarter of this shloka, which he is now going to say in this third quarter, dhyanat karma phala tyagaha, within brackets, vishishyate. Dhyanat, compared to that dhyanam, which is compared to that informed, enlightened dhyanam, compared to that non-mechanical, what used to be mechanical before, now it is non-mechanical dhyana. Okay, like the dhyanam we are doing occasionally once in 2 weeks, right? And compared to that meditation come knowledge, dhyanam, correct? Karma phala tyagaha vishishyate. Karma phala tyagaha. And so, prasada buddhi pradhana jivanam with knowledge. Knowledge that is led with prasada buddhi means the life of a jivan mukti, jivan muktaha. One for whom the meditation has served its purpose. One for whom the knowledge has served its purpose. Okay. Then that life he's calling it as karma phala tyaga, which is very different from the word, so the meaning he intended in the previous shloka. Okay. And so, what are the 4 things? Knowledgeless meditation, meditationless knowledge. Okay. Then what? Meditation come knowledge. Correct? And finally, karma phala tyagaha, real karma phala tyagaha. Previously, prasada buddhi. Now, prasada buddhi is automatic. It is not, I don't have to do anything deliberately. Because of the knowledge and meditation, for me, karma phala tyagaha is my nature, really speaking. Is the nature of the person. That kind of karma phala tyagaha. Okay. And then Shankara explains, why is it like this? How come? Or he says karma phala tyagaha could be exactly what he mentioned in the previous shloka. You don't have to change the meaning of karma phala tyagaha. Okay, don't change it. Keep it exactly like in the previous shloka. What was the meaning of karma phala tyaga in the previous shloka? Sakama karma pradhana prasada buddhi pradhana karma yoga. Correct? Sakama karma. Yeah, do what? Lead a life exactly like everybody else is leading, and do what you have to do. Get your arthas and kamas, but follow dharma and recognize Bhagavan and be a karma yogi in the form of prasada buddhi. That was the definition we said last time. Keep the same definition here also. But if you keep the same definition here, that can't be superior. Correct? Can be superior to jnanam, etc. Shankara says, that is because Krishna is being very kind to all of us. It is like the child comes to you and says, Mom, look at what I've drawn. And mom says, wow, you've drawn a house. Your people are there living in this house also. There are trees outside this house. My goodness, you are the greatest artist I've seen. The child feels very good. See, I'm the greatest. I'm not just an artist. I'm the greatest artist. Okay. Then what? Why do you say this? Is he the greatest artist literally? No, not literally. It's a figurative way of saying. It's a way of encouraging this boy and to do more drawing, etc. And make the child feel good. And that statement. And that statement is very important for the child. And the mother knows, father knows. It's not to be taken literally. Nobody takes it literally. In fact, there are so many friends in this party, and this conversation happened in front of everybody. Not a single person says it's a wrong statement. Not a single person is surprised by that statement, right? Why? Because in that context, that's the right thing to say. Shankara says, that is how you should take this word, this shloka. Because we all need that kind of help periodically. And so he is calling it as a Arthavada Shloka. Arthavada. Arthavada means what? Praise. Praise. When we praise people and all that, we do exaggerate. You have to be careful who you praise, how you praise, and all. You have to be careful, of course. If you exaggerate too much all the time, then they will think this guy is out of his mind. That's what they will think. But you do a reasonable amount of exaggeration. And here also, Shankara says it is an exaggeration. It should not be taken literally. Okay? But still, karma phala tyaga is not an ordinary thing. Not an ordinary thing. We simply say it and walk away. How am I going to implement it in my life? Our entire culture is based on prasadam. Correct? And if you want to, one of the things you can, what is Hinduism, what is Hindu society, if you want to explain to an audience, you can bring in prasada buddhi. Prasada buddhi. Karma is there, therefore prasada buddhi. Both will walk in, correct? Both will walk in. And the whole life goes on in this country because of prasada buddhi. There are so many reasons to be insane, to go insane. But prasada buddhi keeps us sane. Keeps us very sane. And some people say it is prasada buddhi that does not make us do good things, does not make us progress. Sometimes they say that. Yeah, you can't use prasada buddhi to say whatever we have is good. Mosquitoes are biting there all over the place. No, it's okay. We have a lot of prasada buddhi. You can't say that. Do whatever you have to do. Cleanliness, do what you have to do. Sanitation, do what you have to do. And then after that, whatever happens is prasad. Take it as prasad. Correct. And so that prasada buddhi is so important for us. That is why Bhagavan Sri Krishna is highlighting that karma phala tyagaha. It is the seed. It is the seed for everything that's going to happen to me in the future. Correct? It is the Ishvara Sambandha. It is what creates in me the Sambandha between me and Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the karma phala data. I am the karta. I am the karta. Veda says I am the karta. Do this, do that. Because I am a karta, I have the capacity to do. But Ishvara is the karma phala data. So that connection is firmly established. by this prasada buddhi. So it is so important. And that is why there are certain things, very interesting. There are certain things here which are not abnormal, whereas in the West it can be abnormal. You know, this when a person gets divorced or separated or the early death of the partner, whatever, right? So many reasons for a person to be single. Traditionally, there is no second marriage. Traditionally, there's no second marriage. Why? Prasada. This is it. This is what my life was supposed to be like that. And so that's over. And so single. What can I do as a single? You can do a lot of things as a single person that a married person cannot do. Now you're not obligated to do a lot of things that only married people can do, can have responsibility. Now you can be on your own, can take off. You can visit the ashram more often. The single person nobody can question him or her, doesn't matter. Poor girl, it's like this. She's going to the ashram every other week. This is what some people will say. That is all bogus. And so now this girl or boy or man or can just take off. Take off. Okay, so many advantages are there. And there is no initially there is some sticky situation, but once all that goes away, then normal. The life comes back to normal. And we have to tell this more often because it's only our culture which provides this freedom to be single. Freedom to be single and happy. Okay. The people are absolutely amazing. They think the single people are not happy. I don't know why it should be like that. Why should it be like that? I can point to so many people. I mean, I meet a single person from so many people. Are you happy? Are you happy? So there is no connection between marriage and happiness. No rule. Shastram also doesn't say it. So prasada buddhi, that's a point here. So something happens, prasada. Everything is taken as prasada. Including traumatic situations. And so trauma, shock, prasada buddhi is the greatest shock absorber. Greatest, I mean, this is, it has to be, it's very clear to us that that's what it is. And so, therefore, Bhagavan is saying, karma palatyagaha vishishyate compared to dhyanam, jnanam, abhyasa, etc. Okay, that's a way to understand this shloka. Tyagat shanti. See, in passing, Swamiji said, this shloka need not be there. Like that. Krishna need not have said this shloka. Swamiji says that. So, anyway, Tyagat Shantihi Anantaram. So you have to split it properly. Tyagat Shantihi Anantaram. There are 3 words there. Okay. So the Tyagat Shantihi becomes Tyagat Shantihi. Like that. Sandhi rule is there. And so Shantihi. We saw the word Shantihi before. Where did we see Shantihi before?
Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate.
Huh?
I think Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate.
No, second chapter. Prasade Sarva Dukkhanam.
Sade Sarva Dukkhanam Anirasyopadayate Prasanna Chetaso Hyashu Buddhif Paryavatishtate Yasa Vihaya Kaman Yas Sarvan Pumans Charati Nisprihaha Nirmamo Nirahankaraha Sashantimadi Gachati. Correct. Second chapter. Towards the end. 70, 71, I think even. Yesha Brahmi Sthiti Partha. Like that it was. Yeah. The 71st shloka. Shanti. There he said. And here also same word Shanti, same meaning also. Shankara says, samsarasya upashamaha. So very beautiful words inside. So this samsara, which has a lot of dukkha in it, sorrow, and upashamaha, removal, permanent removal of sorrow. That is the meaning of shantihi. So tyagat shantihi anantaram. Okay. And once this happens, once these 4 stages are crossed, then shantihi only. Shantihi. In this life. Okay. Anantaram. Anantaram is an interesting word. Antaram means gap. Antaram means gap, a time gap. Antaram. You sow a seed on the this one, clay. And then after some time only you can begin to see shoots and things like that, plant, etc. You need an antaram. Antarala is needed. Without a gap. Anantaram means what? No gap, no time gap. Okay, no time. Means you don't have to, after all this, while alive itself, in this life itself, Shanti is possible. It will happen. That is what Bhagavan is telling. It is not, you don't have to die, you don't have to go somewhere else, etc., etc., not needed. Okay. Tyagat Shanti. Shanti is the phalam of that. Karma phala tyagaha. So that's the gist of the shloka, right? Summarizing what Bhagavan had said, but using jumbled up words all over, jumbling up completely, and mentioned 4 instead of 5, things like that. Yeah, keep that in mind. So let's translate this. Literal translation would be, knowledge is indeed superior to dhyanam. Knowledge is indeed superior to dhyanam, within brackets, without knowledge. Knowledge is indeed superior to dhyanam without knowledge. Without knowledge in brackets. Full stop. Dhyanam within brackets with knowledge. Dhyanam with knowledge is superior to knowledge. Right? Dhyanam with knowledge is superior to knowledge by itself, without meditation, obviously. Full stop. Renunciation of the results of actions. Karma phala tyagaha. Renunciation of the results of actions within brackets is superior to dhyanam. Renunciation of the results of actions is superior to dhyanam. Full stop. There is peace after renunciation. Full stop. There is peace after renunciation. Knowledge is indeed superior to dhyanam without knowledge. Dhyanam with knowledge is superior to knowledge. Full stop. Renunciation of the results of actions is superior to dhyanam. There is peace after renunciation. Full stop. So be careful with all these words. Dhyanam, abhyasa.
Guruji, just this is because that karma is the seed for next life. Is it because of that reason they are saying this?
Saying what?
that karma palatyaga must be done.
No, not seed for next life. That is not the point here. See, karma palatyaga is prasada buddhi. Prasada buddhi has nothing to do with next life, really speaking. Prasada buddhi is so critical for me in this life itself to really lead a mature life. Really, it's mature life. In fact, I've met people who have not been exposed. They are not even Indians. They have a lot of prasada buddhi. Anybody, can be anywhere. Anywhere in the world you can have people who have not studied the Shastra. But prasada buddhi is there, well endowed with prasada buddhi. That's how it is meant to be. They will say, and then they're fine after that. And so that's amazing. So karma phala tyagaha, I don't think is connected with what you're saying. Okay? That what you said is true, but there's no connection between that. Okay, let's chant the next one. Adveshta sarvabhutanam
Adveshta sarvabhutanam
maitrah karuna evacha
maitrah karuna evacha
nirmamo nirahankaraha
nirmamo nirahankaraha.
samadukha sukha kshami.
In my book Sukha, it says Sukha Dukkha Sukha. Samadukha, is it?
Samadukha sukha kshami.
Samadukha Sukha Kshami.
Yeah, so this is very peculiar in Sanskrit. This sukha kshami, that is how the last two words are like that, right? So this visarga has to be pronounced sukha kshami. We can't say sukha kshami. It's an incorrect pronunciation. It is so important that Panini has given a sutra to emphasize that. And so we should pronounce it what? Sukha kshami. Unlike the other places where we join the visarga with the next word, right? So let's chant again. Adveshta sarvabhutanam
Adveshta sarvabhutanam
maitrah karuna evacha
maitrah karuna evacha
nirmamo nirahankaraha
nirmamo nirahankaraha
samadukha sukha kshami.
samadukha sukha kshami.
Yeah. So now you can sense that it's a new section is starting. Okay? New section, because these are words which describe qualities. Okay, Adveshta, Maitraha, Karuna, etc. are qualities of a person. And so this first part is over. With this shloka number 12, it's over, which talks about the various components of Bhakti Yoga. It's over. Now, at this point, a person has gone through these 5 stages of Bhakti Yoga. And so that person must be what? That person must be Parama Bhakta. Okay? Chaturvida Bhajante Ma must be a Jnani. Okay? Brahma Jnani. Still a Bhakta only. Parabhakta. Correct? And because the person, Krishna has said that earlier also, Jnani too. Bharata Rishabha, like that he said. And then elsewhere he says, he praises that Jnani as a Bhakta. And person knows what is to be known. Okay? That person is a Sthita Prajnaha. Arjuna asked that question. Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthitadi kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. Second chapter he asked. Sthita Prajna Lakshana. There he asked, and then Krishna explains Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan. So, when a person, as and when desires arise, he recognizes and prajahati recognizes that it's a desire. It's no desire can be a binding desire. Okay, like that. Prajahati yada kaman. And desires come from me. I am not dependent on desire. Look at that statement. How only a jnani can make such a statement, correct? I don't have to depend on desires getting fulfilled. Desires need to be fulfilled to perpetuate this body. But Atma doesn't, Atma always is. And therefore, Atma is the cause of the desire. Like that, Prajahati Yada Kama. Beautiful. So explaining this jnani in that second chapter. So here also, somebody might say, okay, after all this, how does this person who is a jnani right now relate to the world, conduct himself, herself in this world? Why should a jnani conduct himself well? Because after jnanam, life continues. This is not a moksha, swarga going moksha. This is moksha in this life itself. Therefore, after moksha also life continues because body is there, what to do, and body will continue. As long as prarabdha is there, it will continue. Therefore, the jnani will be expected to interact with the world. He can't say, I'll run away or I will do this or they can say whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. But life will continue. People will be there. That person also has to relate to people. Okay. Previously, his whatever, if he was a family person, mother, father was there, they were calling him by names, and children are there, they're calling him father, mother, etc. Now they're going to call him Swamiji. If they're still related, right? Sometimes what will happen? Sometimes a sannyasi gains sannyasa. Generally, when Puja Swami used to give sannyasa, he will check with the family, make sure everybody is okay with it. Of course, make sure the person deserves to get sannyasa. That is there first. Then what about family? Person has responsibilities. Young children are there. Parents depending on him. All these things are there. Do you have brothers, sisters who can take care of your parents? All these questions will come. Only then sannyasa will be given. Occasionally, the family members are opposed to this. Occasionally. Occasionally because I know, I've seen all these things. And so, that's obviously not good. But this person, sannyasi, has to deal with that also. People are still there. Previously, people were nice. Now the same people are not nice to him also. And what a life it is, And of course, sannyasi doesn't matter. They're alive to everything, but they are not affected by it. And so, therefore, how does this person deal with favorable situations, unfavorable situations, anything? Exactly like any other person will experience. So, how does this person respond? If that were the question, then here Swamiji says, okay, so how do I go through all this process? How do I know I am a jnani? Somebody is asking that question. How do I know? How do I know? It's like saying after going to so many years of college, how do I know I really understood everything? If you ask, well, at least the college is giving some kind of certificate and says so and so person has certified after so many years this. The Swamiji says we should give a certificate. I think this person has self knowledge. He is a Brahmavid. She is a Brahmavid, and therefore, please, whenever he approaches you, do a Pada Puja. And you can definitely garland the person also. And so all those things should be there in a certificate, to whomsoever it may concern. Like that. No, some people actually, there are some institutes that give this certificate of Brahma Vidya. They give that certificate. Now, after we graduated, we finished our course in the Gurukulam. Also, we also got this plaque was given. And, but there it doesn't say you're a Brahmajnani and that. And it says this fellow has attended 3 years, 3.5 years, he spent in the ashram. That's all it says.
3 years resident in this place.
And whoever has a value for it will understand it. Otherwise, it's nothing. So we also got a certificate. So no, that kind of certificates will not be given. And so here, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is talking about the benefits of this one who goes through this kind of a discipline, sadhanam, etc. What are the benefits? And so, of course, the first benefit is it's okay. Why should I study the Shastram? If somebody were to ask, well, here are the benefits of that. So, how the person relates to people. If you like the way the person relates to people, then you also should study the Shastra like that. That's the incentive, right? And Swamiji says it's like the marketing. Krishna is now marketing Brahma Vidya. Okay, Karma Yoga marketing. And second benefit is this, very important. It is what is natural to a jnani. Like, for example, speaking the truth and other values are going to come, adveshta, not hating others, etc. These are all natural to the person who's really studied the Shastram. Natural. What is natural to the jnani will become values that I should pursue. I means a person who's following this should pursue. Oh, I should also emulate these values. Okay. So, jnaninaha, lakshanani, what is natural to a jnani will become sadhanani. Mama sadhanani bhavanti. Okay. Karma yoginaha sadhanani. They become my sadhanas. I also should be like that. Like him or her. Look, this is the way. Look at the way the person deals with everybody. Okay. And we can see whenever Puja Swamiji was at, any Swamiji, any ashram, if you've observed carefully, and I have observed, I always observe all these things, the way they talk and everything. And so much is there to learn. In every conversation, there is so much to learn. I've learned a lot like that. And it's so important. Why do we go to the ashram? And every minute of the life there has to be something that I can learn from. And so that is number 2. That's the important benefit. Talking about the benefits, the phalam of this Brahma Vidya is this. What is this? Talking about a jnani helps me use what is natural to that person as a value for me, as a sadhanam for me. Yeah, like that. Then, third one, of course, is to emphasize that moksha is here and now. Moksha is not sometime later in the next life, etc. Suppose they say, jnanena moksha. By knowledge, you gain moksha. And then they also say, moksha is in the next life. Jnanena moksha. And moksha is in the next life. Immediate next life. What is the implication of that? It means what? If I study and get knowledge, I will die. I'll die. Next life, I'll die. Therefore, what? Oh, okay. You are studying the Shastra. Okay. I'll join you guys after a few years. Okay. I also like this. I think it's very important. Bhagavad Gita is important. But after a few years means what? When I'm ready to die. I have yet to meet a person who is ready to die. Okay. There is no human being has come and told us I'm ready to die now. Although some people do say, God is not taking me.
God is not calling me.
God is not calling me. It is a very popular statement. God is not calling. And when God comes, they'll talk about great-granddaughter's marriage that's coming up next 2 months later. So come back 2 months from now. God, take an appointment with me and come. Okay, don't come to me without an appointment. So anyway, so moksha is here and now. That also is emphasized when somebody talks about jnani's qualities. It means qualities here, not somewhere else. So therefore, these shlokas number 13 till the end of the chapter, okay, only 20 shlokas here, are all talking about this Jivan Mukta Lakshanani, Sthita Prajna Lakshanani. Okay, and starting from 30. Okay. And so those traits are talked about, those qualities are talked about. First trait is what? Adveshta. Just that one word. Adveshta. Ragadvesha, right? Ragadvesha, like and dislike. So dvesha is dislike. Dveshakarta is a dveshta. One who has dislike is called a dveshta. One who has an extreme form of dislike called hatred is called a dveshta. This jnani is an adveshta. This is a very bold statement, very important statement, right? Imagine not hating something, some situation, people or situation, both, anything, not hating something. That is how Shastra defines a jnana. Dveshta. So we have to read a lot into this word, right? And Shastram is saying, essentially Krishna is saying, no hatred is justifiable. No hatred can be justified. That's what in one word he is saying that. Hatred cannot be justified. You can say, no, this, no, that. You know what kind of a serial killer he is. Yeah. Actions are right or wrong. Dharma is there very much. Okay. And adharma should not be condoned. Correct? Dharma should not be condoned. See, how important is it to understand this hatred, right? What do you want to happen? Do you want the person to change or not change? Somebody, I don't like somebody, person X. Do I want that person to be like that only, or you want the person to change? Most likely the answer is going to be, yeah, I want them to change. I want them not to behave like this. It is just impossible. And so therefore, we'll come to that in a minute. But why is hatred not justifiable? Let's talk. That first reason is every jiva is nitya shuddha buddha swabhavaha, and anagha, hey anagha, right? Anagha, sinless. Okay. So daivi, and so saintly, every human being is essentially, in essence, that person is Atma, which is free of any qualities and is pure. This is our Sanatana Dharma. No other religion in the world today says that. So this is one reason. Cannot categorically deserve hatred, because there is divinity in every person. We have to really think through and just cannot bucket the person into something that everybody should hate. Okay? Everybody should hate. Second, hating an individual will not change the person, because you just told me that you want the person to change the behavior. You want the situation to be different. If it is polluted outside, I hate pollution. If I say, I don't like pollution, correct? You want the situation to change? Yes, I want the situation to change. Okay, then hatred is not going to help you. Do something else. Get involved in politics. Get involved in something. It should make me do the right thing. But hating is not going to help that situation, right? So hating an individual or hating a situation will not help. And third, okay, no, I won't hate the individual, but I will hate those actions done by the individual. Even that also is of not use at all. Hating an individual, hating a person's actions is finally the same thing. Hating the actions also will not change the person, will not help the person at all, because it is not like the person wants to do those hateful actions. Nobody wants to do hateful actions, but a person seems to be helpless. Yeah. So hating the behavior also will not help. So we can't have, the person can't say, okay, I'll have some, like this sessions with the psychologist, psychotherapist. We have sessions, half an hour sessions, 1 hour sessions, and like that, So I'll have some sessions with you where every half an hour, once a week for the next 6 weeks, I'll hate you for 30 minutes so that you can change your behavior, That won't work. That will not work at all. So this hating the behavior, hating the person is of no use. And last, not the least, hating first destroys the person who hates. Okay. And means just ruins the person. Person's mind becomes turbulent and is no longer able to function fully. And somebody said it is like trying to throw on this other person, throw a rock, not a rock, throw a burning piece of coal with the intention of throwing it on somebody else. And if that burning coal just burns me first before somebody else gets burnt by it, correct? And so these kinds of responses are of no use at all. Hatred is of no use. Dvesha is of no use. So what do I do? This. Can something be done about it? Yeah, a lot has to be done about it. That's why the whole childhood is meant for learning some of these values. Learning values. The whole life, we go to school. Sometimes we lose the perspective. We get caught up in some kind of academic performance and then give up a lot of things that are actually useful in our life, more useful in our life. Is it not? And so all these things have to be learned. And we'll come back to that. It's already 8:05 here. So how do you deal with all these things? So we'll talk a little bit about that and then continue. So Adveshta Sarvabhutan. Sarvabhutan. Swamiji said, Swamiji, somebody is going on, can I have some exceptions to hatred, like my mother-in-law or father-in-law or something like that? Sorry, no exceptions to this. Krishna is saying Sarvabhutana. Even mosquitoes, no exception. You can't hate mosquitoes. I hate these mosquitoes. In India, we don't use the statement that much. And we may say it, but especially we don't use that hatred word. Don't like, we might say. But Swamiji, having come to America and spoken, he talks about how when Swamiji gives prasada to children, young children are coming, and hi, how are you? And then he gives prasada, some fruit. And then he gives a fruit. Oh, I hate bananas. I hate bananas. In India, we will never say that. Prasada is given, you just take it. That's it, over. Whether you like it or you hate it is secondary. And there the children say, children don't know anything about this. Oh, I hate bananas. Please don't. Okay, you don't hate bananas? Okay, you take orange. So this interesting, very interesting psychology. Hate. Anyway, we will discuss this, continue this discussion in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.